that 51 cents. Now, as we move forward, there's always the one thing that you always want to pay attention to is what? The famous 5-minute pullback, right? Here's your 5-minute pullback. Look at this pullback that we had earlier, right? Now, what you can do is compare if you don't know how much the pullback's going to do, right? Go back to your earlier pullback. As you can see right here, we had a red moon come in. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the red moon in here. We can see that we were coming down. And what I'm going to also do here is going to basically let me know where we are on the RSIs for every time frame, right? Now, we had a nice little pullback, and then it bounced and it went on a run. Now, we have another 5-minute pullback where the RSI came all the way down, came to the top, broke down, right? This is the second one. And we're going to take a look here at what's the difference and how we should kind of look at this and what should we worry about. Is it a bigger pullback? Is this going to be more, etc.? So let's take a look at this first one here. First thing we got to do is on a 5-minute pullback, you get a red moon. What's the first thing you look for? The 15-minute RSI breaking down, which it did, right? See that first one? See the 15-minute breaking down here? That's why that pullback was a little bit harder. We did get the breakdown. And then the second thing is the 30-minute has to be breaking down, right? The first one, the 30-minute wasn't breaking down, and that's why we had a slight pullback on that one pullback. Not as much as it could have been on that 15-minute. You see here? 15-minute came down, but then it recovered because the 30 was still pushing up. But now we're in the same scenario. We're in the moment where the 5-minute is looking to do a 5-minute pullback or a correction or whatever you want to look at it. And right here, the 15-minute is overbought again. But at this time, we now see that our 30-minute is overbought as well. So that puts us in a situation where we have to say, I wonder how this pullback's going to go. So let's take a look at the 5-minute real quick. The last pullback when we had it, red moon came in, came down, not too bad. But the best part is here is that that 5-minute moon right here actually rejected, showing strength that the pullback wasn't going to be that big of a deal. So when we move to the 1 hour, we can see here that we have the 1 hour in our favor on that first pullback, and that's why it wasn't that great. And the second pullback as well, you can see that the 1 hour is still pushing up. Now I slide to the 2 hour RSI. That bottomed up and we just started to come up there. So that's going to give more buying pressure. So the pullbacks will be even less when you have all this pressure going up. That's why these call outs are so powerful when you're trading with the RSIs. That's why when we trade with the RSIs and the moons and everything, we have higher percentages of wins because we are trading at a level where we're just basically have everything in our favor, which means our wins are easier to get. Not to mention, we're about to do a 2-hour moon on Cardano, and that's gonna jump there because we already have a 2-hour trend. So now if you think about this, what do you have? You have a green moon, a green trend, a red trend on a green moon. This is a 2-hour moon reset for Cardano. This triggers, man, this thing is going to jump to 48 cents, guys. Like, this is the beautiful thing about kind of like seeing what we got going on here. And this is why I can make certain call outs, is because understanding the progression that we're watching. And secondly, if I go to my 4-hour, notice here when that first call out came and that first pullback came, the RSI on the 4-hour was already headed up. If it was over here heading down, then you would see a bigger pullback, which is what you've seen in this area. But since it was already here, it was already pushing back, and now it's still pushing up. So this pullback is going to be very light, nothing to really worry about here, especially since the moon really bounced off there. And it looks like it's just going to kind of like fade its way through. The 5-minute RSI is already bouncing up here. Another good sign here. But the reason why I want to make this video is because a lot of times if we had a scenario where there might be a real 5-minute pullback, this goes into what we say by basically using our stop losses. So what I would do here is I would come over here and say, hey, you know what? When I got to that 260%, 270% gains, what I could have done, because 30% gains, that's a lot of money. Okay, that's a lot of money. So what I could have done is when I got to this 5-minute pullback, which I seen was going to happen right here, when this RSI hit the top and started to bend, see right here, what I could have done at that moment just to kind of make more money, I could have used the technique of closing out some money, right? And what I could have done was went to my stop loss, okay? And I could have went and put in the price around 4485, selling, if it went down to 4480, selling 25% of the portion and then taking that 25% and buying it back in on the dip. So for instance here, let's play this right here and say, okay, VC, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take 0.4479, right? That's the price, 4479, and I'm going to sell 25% of this position, right? And let's put this here just so it has a scenario here. So we're going to put 70, right? Let's close that out. All right, I'm going to close this long. And that's going to buy this out. Now that's going to take, you see, notice here, it took that $5 off the table, $4 off the table, right? And now I have that in my pocket where I can add that back in. So this way, during this 5-minute pullback, I can use this profit here to re-enter and give myself a better scenario here, right? And the other way you can do it is very simply like this, right? So let's fix this stop loss right here. Let's go ahead and go in here and say, okay, I want to do a stop loss to make sure that on this 5-minute pullback, if it does pull back, that I'm looking at a position where I grab 25% of my bag and I stick it where I want it, and we're going to confirm it right there, and there you go. Now what this is going to do too, if this triggers out, you're going to see we're going to take another 25% here on that bag if it goes back down, and we're going to have that extra money to repurchase Cardano once the 5-minute pullback is done doing what it's doing. You see there, we took another $2 out of there. We took another 25%. So now I have literally the other $8 sitting around that I can re-enter. So I took half of my profits out right here. And now what I can do is I can re-enter that price into this pullback, right? Into the pullback. So this is something you guys can do where this is basically just adding to your profits, man. The email that you guys are going to, let me get to that 1 second, right? So that's how you double down and get your money. So let's go back to Cardano. And then as we see this pullback, you see the 5-minute moon came in right there? See that 5-minute moon? The reason why I'm taking on this is because this time around, the 30-minute RSI is at the top, and I have to respect that, right? I have to respect the 15-minute RSI bending down, but I also, because last time it did it, the 30 wasn't at the top, this time it is. So this time I'm going to, respect that 30-minute and say, you know what? I'm going to take some profits off the table here so that I can buy more on the dip, right? Because everything else looks like it's going to keep going up, but I want to increase my purchase. So I got my other $8. I got 50% of my bag out of this at this 47.72 average. So if it drops below that, then I can start buying. So basically what I would do here is wait for the Cardano to basically finish doing whatever dip it's doing, right? Like right here off my 15-minute. When the 15-minute finishes and starts to bounce back up, right? That's where I will go to look at my 30-minute. And as my 30-minute is bending back up, then I will re-enter, even if it's higher pricing than where I am currently. But it just gives me the opportunity that if it does go down, I can snag half my Cardano at a discounted price. But if it continues to go up and I have to enter in, I'm not really losing that much money by buying the Cardano that I sold for 7.3 for 8.2. Right? I'm still moving in a very high direction. I'm up 200-some%. It's not that big of a deal. But if it does go down and give me, if I would have sold at 270 when that 5-minute hit, I could be buying right now at a discounted rate at 260, 217. So that's 50% right there that I could be buying Cardano. So half my bag could be buying more Cardano at a 50% discount than when it was when I sold it, right? Food for thought, guys. But that's how you use your stop losses. Now that we're in there, I'm kind of going to make sure I put my stop loss back in here just to be where I have it set up. And we're going to set it at 446 just in case if they dump it on us, we're in a good position. And that'll be 50% of the market right there. And we're going to confirm that. There we go. Very nice, VC, very nice. And if it goes down to that low, then it'll sell off, and then the rest of it is just, I got my profit over here already. I can let the rest run, and then we can see if getting that to 51 cents. All right, guys, that's how you make the video on that. Other than that, if you have any questions, man, that's how you use your stop loss, get extra gains, and then if it starts moving up, I'm going to put those gains back in and then continue my push up, guys. Other than that, that's how you do that, man. Good luck. God bless.